Hey everybody, welcome back to our Google Sheets demo. So in our last demo here, I showed you a little bit about the formulas that we used for our little demonstration for our fake CAN drive. For this one, we're going to do a similar thing that is like you're collecting money for, we'll say like a dance like prom, homecoming, whatever. So on the bottom, first off, we have sheet 1, which is no good. So double click inside of sheet 1 right here and call this CAN drive. Oops, I can spell. And then go ahead and hit plus, and we're going to do a different sheet in here. We're going to call this dance. There we go. So now let's go ahead and get our data in here. I'm going to do the same thing I did last time, where I'm going to kind of give you the data and kind of set it up from there. So what we're going to do is we're going to kind of set this up as we have before. So we're going to put this will be the name. We'll say guest name. Oh my goodness. This is why I'm giving you stuff and not having me watch you type. And then we're going to say tickets needed. And then a cost. And this is an extremely good example of Google Sheets and how this works. And then what we're going to do over here in F, we're going to store the total collected. And then we'll do our formula for that in just a little bit. But yeah, this is a very, very real world situation here. This is something that people really actually use things for. So what we're going to do here is then I'm going to give you our fake data here. And what we're going to have is just in this case, a couple of names. I completely made up names, just like whatever I could think of. So that's all. So what we're going to do here, you notice we don't have any data in these two columns yet. These are going to be formula columns, actually, and this is going to be one of the other things that our formulas can do. So what we're going to do here is first off, we'll just click in A1 and we're going to go ahead and do our alternating colors. We're going to do that for A to D. And then does not matter what you pick, just pick one. I kind of am into that one right now. So it should be perfect. Here we go, we're done. All right, so second, we're gonna format our header row. So our header row, I always like to have centered, bold, and then we'll go up to, in this case, 12. Oh, no, that's too big. We'll go to 11. And then we're gonna have to adjust our C because tickets needed is definitely a little too small like that. All right, there we go. That should look fine enough. All right, formula time. So what we're going to do here is that if the person's in this spreadsheet, we know they need one ticket. If they have a guest, we know that they need 2 tickets. So what we're going to do is our formula here, we're going to say equals if. Oops, and I am in the wrong spreadsheet. So we're going to say equals if. Third time's the charm. So what this does is you've all, I'm sure, done if statements before. It evaluates an expression based on if it's true or false. So what we're going to do in this particular expression is we're going to say if our B2 right here is not equal, which is this, it's not equal to nothing. So if there's something in B2, we're going to, in this one, put a value of 2. So if they have a guest coming, they need 2 tickets. Otherwise, they need 1 ticket. And you can see as I change between the different spots, you can see that different things highlight. So the first one here is our logical expression. And it tells you this is what the logical expression is. It's something that has to evaluate to true or false. So if it is the value, if it is true, we'll put 2. The value, if it's false, is going to be 1. If you hit enter, then there we go. Now, Google Sheets does come up with this autofill, We probably could do that, but we're not going to in this case. We now see that Tommy is bringing Tammy, so they do actually need 2 tickets. So now we're going to say in this case, the cost of each ticket is $25. So what we need to do is we have to put our equals, and whatever the value is, we're going to click in C2 here. We're going to multiply by 25. So 25 times 2 is 50. We also know if you click up on the top for column D, we're going to format that as currency. So we want that actually to all show up as $. We don't never type the $. That is bad. So now this formula is going to be the same for each one. So what we're going to do, actually in this case, I think we'll type it one more time, then I'll show you the easier method to get it down there. So let's go ahead and do this again. I know this one going through kind of faster, but I think it's important to see some of these formulas work, and then we'll put them into practice shortly. So for this one, it's the same thing. So we're going to do equals if, and we're looking for B3 in this case. Okay. So B3 is our cell. And sometimes, like in this case, it's actually like super over top of our stuff here. So you can just hit the up to actually get back to where we know. So if our B3 is not equal to nothing, we want to put a 2. Otherwise, we put a 1, hit enter. You see that B3 is actually blank, so there's a 1 there. So same thing for our formula here is that we want to take whatever is in our, in this case, C3, and multiply by 25, and we get, in this case, $25. Now, the easiest way to do this is then if you take these 2 cells and you highlight them, and then we have this little blue box that over here, we would not want to type this formula every time. I did it twice to show you. So if you hit this blue box here and you kind of drag it down, you see that the formulas automatically fill for you. Very, very nice function of Google Sheets that you should take. So now let's just take a moment and double check our data. 2 tickets for Luke and Jill is 50. 1 ticket for Destin is 25. 2. Okay. We have actually exactly what we need in this case. Our formulas did work properly. Now you see that when we did that, if you notice the numbers here that are changing, Google Sheets automatically saw that for us and took care of all of the monotonous stuff. So we now actually have a good sheet of data. Now, if you were to want to add one more, which we'll do, we'll say that we have Jeff and Amy, and we want to then, we see that the formula is not there, so we can just do that again. We can just do the blue box and drag it down, and we have then that formula added. Should be fine. Okay, so now we want our total amount collected. So in this case, we would want to have to, at the end of like whatever day, if you're collecting tickets at lunch, know how much money you have. So what we're going to do in this case is our sum formula. Sum is the thing that adds up all the values, and this is definitely the right option in this case. So we're going to do the equals, and then we're going to do our sum formula. So click it, and our sum is going to be of column D. So in this case, it is $300. And now notice the thing about doing this is like if you have one more ticket that you sell, then it automatically updates right there. So this is why we set it up this way, because Google Sheets will do the math for you. All right, and then we'll do one more formula here. We'll do the number of tickets sold. And for the number of tickets sold, we're going to do, in this case, we're going to do the sum formula again of column C. And in this case, it's 13, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 is the number. That way Google Sheets will do the math for us. Okay, so that's our second Google Sheets here. And it's very real world way to use Google Sheets and to accomplish a task that needs to be done, to track data and do something with it. So there you go. If you have any questions, please let me know.